Hey everyone, my name is Yograj Sikka. I am student of Center for Global Education at Chitkara University in collaboration with Deakin University. Today I am demonstrating my task 2.1p of SIT 313, which is full stack development backend secure applications. So in this task we had to make a few things, like we had to build a working .NET Web API, which I built in the previous task for 2.1, with several endpoints like get robot command, post robot command, put robot map, and so on. So in the second part of this task was to install Postman, but Postman is paid now, so I am using Insomnia here instead of Postman, and set up a local environment with two variables that are API host set to set the local host and port set to whatever the port API runs on. And then we had to create a collection. So after that we had to create a collection which is named as SIT331, and add a request for each endpoint. Make sure we get correct response, and also add one intentionally broken request to show that the API returns an HTTP error. Finally, we had to export the collection as JSON file and run it using the collection runner, and save the responses enabled, and export those results to and submit both the files on the OnTrack as per our task sheet. So now let's move on to the code. The code which I had made for this task is here. So here is my code. So at the very first, on the top of the screen, you can see the JSON serializer, so that enum values like north and move are serialized as string instead of numbers. I also enable case sensitive property names as postman request work, regardless of how the user is capitalized fields names. For in memory state, I have a list called command history that stores every command to the API, a map defaulting to a 5 into 5 grid robot state, x and y direction, and a boolean robot placed. So initially I had built the app. So this is for the enum values. After that I had used the redirect HTTP to HTTPS in development template, so that it will follow the HTTP URL here. And after that I had used a memory state in memory state things. This is a small in memory mode used for the assignments. So after that I had made a list. So after making the list, I had given various things like I had here made the so I had made the get slash endpoint is just a health check that returns hello robot. After that, the get robot commands and endpoint returns the full command history here. After that, there is the robot command slash move endpoint filter, which will return only when when only the move command will run. After that, same for getting the user or the getting the commands by the GUID. After that, I had made the post robot commands in the main point, and it accepts a command type left, right, move, or report. If the robot hasn't been placed yet, not non-place commands are recorded as ignored. The place validates coordinates against the map bounds and sets the robot position. After that, the move computes the next position and reject if it is fall of the map. Left and right rotate the robot using arithmetic functions. Report just returns the current state or the current value or the current state of the robot without changing anything from it. After that, I had made the put command there. So here is the code for my post command. So now let's move on to the put command here. You can see the put command is from starts from here. After that, the put slash robot commands by ID lets us update a stored command in the history without re-executing it, just by updating it in that part. After that, the get and put robot map endpoints lets us read and resize the map. Resizing also resets the robot state and clears all the history there. After that there is a after that there is a get map command. So here is my code for the get map. Here is the code for robot map. After that, in the last, we had start our app. After that, these are the things which we will give after that. In this, we had given the various direction in the enum, so that we had used enum here because the values will be stored in the integer, and it will be easy to get +1 and -1 there, so it will be easy for us to not get an issue. So now let's run the code. Type the command .NET run. Sorry for the error. Oh, there is just a minor mistake. I had just not changed the code. I'm just doing something, so there is just a minor error. Now it is working perfectly. So as you can see here, our local host is listening on the port number 5148. So now let's go to our collection which we had made on the insomnia. So now let's move on to the insomnia part. So here you can see this is our insomnia interface. Here I had made the various new request commands for this for checking this or checking the values which we had enter, or check the or debug this code or debug this thing. So first we had made the various commands like get command. So this is to test this is to test API host and the local port there. After that, I had made the get request command for to get and read the robot map. Here I had given the URL for this. Here you can see HTTP. After that, I had used the API host, which I had given the values in the base environment, which I am using here. After that, the port is still from the base environment. So these are my various commands. Like second command is to create robot. So whenever place this, this will create a robot commands. After that, the robot commands for get, then move command, then read command, and then put with the help of update commands. Then read coordinate, update map size. This one should fall for the if the map size, because the map size is between 2 to 100. If robot will try to get off the grid, so it will show an error there. So now let's move each and every request here. So now let's run. So as you can see, all the codes have been running perfectly. So you can see it here as well. Server is running 200. The response contain greetings. So as you can see here, all 17 out of 17 tests were passed. So our code is perfectly fine and it is correct, absolutely correct. So thank you. Have a nice day.